What's up, Paradoxers? It's Jack again, and I am here for Chapter 8, Message. Alright, so last week we left off with him receiving the messages from Mirai, the robot. And here we are with some great chapter art, and we have a recap of that first message saying that he should basically continue drawing White Knight so that he can save Itsuki. And the continued conversation just moves on to him experimenting with the actual medium of the message. It turns out that it's iron sand, so think like a Etch-a-Sketch. I think it works on the same principle, like it's using magnetic field, and I guess this is done with electricity here. And so we get more messages from the future. Teppei is tasked with, of course, saving Itsuki. He has a lot of questions, and for these panels right here, they're just kind of investigating who is it coming from in the future. So he's asking about that, and we're getting a little bit more reveal about what's happening. He gets this equation here, and we have no idea what that is about. I'm actually not so skilled in mathematics so that I kind of understand what they're getting at. It could reveal a lot. It could have to do with the year, the chapters. I don't know really what's going on. I think it's actually pretty cool. It has a lot to do with the science fiction of the series, and we investigate a little bit further in this panel about, how is drawing White Knight related to saving Itsuki. That's really interesting. We get more messages confirming that Itsuki will have a new series, which I predicted, and he should continue doing White Knight, but he needs to defeat her, I guess, in terms of ranking. Otherwise, it means that Itsuki will die. So this is all kind of absurd, which is completely in line with the very first chapter, and we're just getting more of it. I do kind of understand that some people may say, including Sasaki, like, how does someone doing a job, which is essentially what drawing manga is, can kill someone? So it's kind of hard to believe. And so we get more messages from the future with these numbers. It turns out to be lottery numbers because he knows that he's not using the money for himself. He's actually saving it and trying to get it back to Itsuki, which is interesting. I thought that he would do something like that. At least, like, we can already see that he's like torturing himself. So not surprised at all that he's not really spending the money. The future message giver is telling him to use the lotto money to fund his production costs and to try and beat Itsuki and take care of himself while doing so. But Teppei brings like a really important question, which I'll get into later. Why is it me? Who is speaking through the time machine here? And we get the smiley face, which of course is Itsuki's trademark hair pins. And so what does that mean? Because remember, Itsuki has passed away in the future, according to the jump that came by. So for this message to have the mark, the signature of the happy face, I mean, it really can't be her. So we are still left with a lot of questions. Just great art here. Really interesting. I mean, it reminds me of a lot of stuff that we see in horror comics. These backgrounds. And the chapter ends with just like a tortured Sasaki just giving it his best. It looks like he's biting his hand. He's so nervous, trying to figure out what Itsuki was trying to do in the volumes that he has gotten from the future. Alright, so my notes for this week are pretty quick because there's just so much that we can't really answer. I don't want to get too deep into it. But so the main question is, who is sending it back? I think it is still Sasaki who is sending himself the messages back. Because like I said last week, only he knows where he was at that time and what he was thinking. So you can say that he was not actually listening at that time. It was just based off of his memory, like just answering questions that he felt at that time, versus actually having a message go back to the future and whatnot. Second thing is Itsuki has passed away, so it's definitely not her, which leads to the same opinion I had last week. If for someone to go this far into trying to save Itsuki, I mean, it would mean that they have a deep relationship. So what does that mean? I think it just means that there is a deeper relationship between Itsuki and Sasaki in the future. Won't get into that anymore. Other than that, and I would say the third thing is I think they have to watch out how much communication that they can have. I didn't know that they were going to speak so much in this chapter. So yeah, I think we are moving pretty fast into this. We're gonna see how good his chapters are. Probably coming up pretty quick in the next few chapters to see the success level he's getting. And of course, we will probably see the debut of Itsuki's manga next week as well. All right, thanks a lot. Follow me on Twitter at Paradox Tweeter. We got the best memes for Time Paradox going there. Thanks a lot. See you next week.